Good morning. It's 9:30. I woke up about an hour ago. I watered the plants and I finished a book last night and I'm so proud of what I finished. And it was such a banger. It ended up being one of my favorites ever. I finished A Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. No wonder everyone is obsessed with this book because it is so freaking good. Okay, it had me the whole time. I was like, sorry, that's my cat. She's doing that thing, you know, in the movie The Lion King, when Scar is scraping his nails against the wall. That's what she was just doing. It's so weird. Anyway, so this book was phenomenal. This book is about a man named Dorian Gray, a young man that is incredibly beautiful, and he meets these two gentlemen. The first one is a painter named Basil, and he's like an amazing painter, and Basil is just absolutely stunned by Dorian's beauty. He's just cannot believe that this man is that beautiful. So he's like, hey, I'm gonna do a portrait of you, and Dorian was like, okay. And this painter Basil has a friend named Lord Henry, and Lord Henry is kind of he has one way of looking at life. He thinks life is for taking only the pleasure parts of life. Very one way of looking at life, okay? And then Basil, the painter, is more of the, you know, we're supposed to get something out of life, and we're not only just supposed to take out of life. So it's like kind of like, the best way to explain it is like Basil, the painter, is like the angel on Dorian, the beautiful man's shoulder, and Lord Henry's kind of the devil on Dorian's shoulder. He's kind of like, let's indulge, and then Basil's kind of like, no, like life is not only for the taking, there's more to it. And so Dorian kind of ends up getting heavily influenced by Lord Henry, but he gets his painting done, and Dorian is just absolutely obsessed with this painting. He's like, oh my god, I look so pretty. And Lord Henry's like hyping him up, like, yeah, like you are so beautiful. Both of them are hyping him up. You are so beautiful. And to the point where Lord Henry starts like pushing these agendas on him. Honestly, he isn't really pushing it. These are just his beliefs, and they're just kind of a little extreme. Not a little, pretty extreme, where he's like, yeah, the only thing that matters is beauty and youth, and after that it's like trash. Like, that's the only thing that matters. Like, if you're beautiful, you're automatically good. Being beautiful matters more than like being good. Aesthetics are important, vanity's everything. So Dorian is like taking this information in, and he's just like, I'm absolutely stunning. So he kind of makes like a wish. Okay, so this is gothic horror, very fantastical. So he makes a wish where he's just like, I want to remain as youthful and beautiful as I am, but I want the painting or my portrait to age. So, which is like super weird, right? But somehow this ends up happening because Basil, the painter, kind of put too much of himself. That's what he keeps referring to this painting as. He's like, oh, I put too much of myself into this painting, Dorian. I love this painting. He put his like jealousy, his love, his soul, everything in this painting. Remember, this isn't like real, you know, it's just like, it's gothic horror. So this painting kind of becomes its own entity, and it's like becomes its own like being, that as the book continues, the painting starts to age. But the person, the real Dorian Gray, does not age. He stays the same, which is crazy. So he pretty much kind of, the best way to explain it is, he sold his soul to remain beautiful. Because he's like, oh, vanity's the most important thing, This book is fantastic. Oh my freaking god. Oh my god. This is so good. When I tell you it had me, I was like, But anyway, I'm just telling you, like, that's how phenomenal this book is. There's a lot of symbolism. There's a lot of just beautiful prose, and I don't know, there's something just very fancy about being in this story, being in this book. Like, it's definitely a great fall TBR, because it's not the warmest story. It's kind of like sad, and there were moments when I was kind of like getting scared. And like I kept thinking about like what are the lengths that we go to in this time to remain beautiful and youthful. And you know, there's like the even I'm guilty of this. I think a lot of us are, like the 10,000 step like Korean skincare routine that I started like maybe 4 years ago. Okay, it's like maybe 7 steps at night and like only 3 steps in the morning. But still, it's just like, wow, like a lot of us just like don't really want to come to terms with just aging and letting it be. We're just kind of like, I mean, a lot of it has to do with like the media pushing like the agenda that like, oh, we have to stay beautiful. If you're not youthful, you don't matter and you're not as beautiful. You know what I mean? So like the fact that this book was written in like, I think 1892, I swear, and we're still dealing with the same problems. I mean, we're not like selling your soul for it. Well, unless you're a celebrity, maybe you are. This book was published, this book was written in 1854, dude. What the hell? Is this correct? Like, is this correct? That's insane. But yeah, totally, definitely like read this shit. Like read this book. It's so good, dude. Like, I can't say anything else. Like, I don't know, dude. I'm obsessed with it. It's just fantastic. And I feel like it's one of those books I'm gonna just keep thinking about. Like, I went on my Goodreads. I was like, I put it as one of my list of favorites, a list of books that are my favorites, and this is like on it now, and I'm just like, yay. I'm also reading The Vegetarian. I'm about 70% in. Super good. It's about this woman that decides one morning that she's going to be a vegetarian. It's set in Korea because she wakes up from this nightmare where she sees like this deformed face. She's just having these really weird dreams, and she somehow correlates it to her needing to be a vegetarian, and just her family's reaction to that, and just her downfall after making that decision. She ends up being like, but she kind of like ends up going to psychiatric ward, and a bunch of weird stuff happens. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to reading my other books now, so ciao.